Hello everyone, and welcome back to This Week in Mythic Plus. Now this week we have Sanguine, which means when an enemy dies, it drops a pool on the ground, causing damage to players and healing enemies. Grievous, when a player drops below 95%, they get a stacking debuff, losing HP per second. And Fortified, which means that trash has more HP and does more damage. Now tanks, this week positioning is key and it's the most important thing. Now you do want to be dropping Sanguine close to walls or unused pathways, so remember to kite and take the mobs where you want them to go down. Also be very careful with mini bosses and use cooldowns as needed because of Fortified. And bring Fighter Chow or Apridas as needed to combat Grievous. I really do suggest using Fighter Chow, it's a cheap inexpensive food that'll make Grievous a non-issue. DPS, make sure you don't stand on Sanguine. Since it got a buff, it actually does do a lot more damage than it used to, so it can be very deadly. Bring Fighter Chow or Apridas to help your healer out with Grievous, and use defensive cooldowns on mini bosses that have AoE abilities because of Fortified this week. Healers, don't stand on any Sanguine, it does do a lot of damage now. Also, use Fighter Chow or Apridas to combat Grievous, and if you use it for yourself, you're basically going to be cancelling out one target that you're going to need to heal all the time. Remember to bring your AoE or group healing spec this week since Grievous is going to be handed out to everyone, and use AoE or group heals on trash abilities that do also cleave. One last thing is to make sure you bring water, because if no one in your team has Fighter Chow or Apridas, it's going to be very heavy on your mana. Overall this week, it's a 3 out of 10, it's very easy. Grievous can be countered with a food buff, Sanguine should be countered by your tank positioning, and the only big thing you have to worry about is Fortified trash mobs with mini bosses. So watch your Grievous, bring Fighter Chow, and be careful with those mini bosses. And this week is going to be an easy week to push a high key. Also, overall this week, if you do raid, do not use your Seals of Broken Fate for extra gear this week. This week and next week, you do want to get up to 6 out of 6 for Antorus raid coming out. So save up your seals starting this week. Make sure that at the end of this week, you have 3 out of 10. Thank you all for watching, and as always, good luck out there.